Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. We'll begin at the State House, where the National Economic Council, at its 151st meeting, has approved a proposal to strengthen polio vaccination coverage, which has increased from 81 to 84%, with focus on routine immunization. The Council also approved the implementation of the Renewed Hope Medium-Term Plan 2026 to 2030. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
This is the 151st National Economic Council meeting and the fourth in the year 2025, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Issues of the type 2 new variant of the polio virus. The Council received the committee responsible for bringing an end to the spread of the disease.
The progress so far made has shown that epidemiological data is on a downward trend from about 78 cases in 2024 as at the 33rd week, which is the week of our last meeting in August. Now it has gone down to 42 cases. And also Kano and Katsina states particularly have recorded 85% and 84% reductions respectively.
With low record in the year 2025, out of the 23 cases across the country, 13 are from Sokoto State, and the Council has taken appropriate steps to ensure no more cases recorded through increased vaccination coverage with focus on routine immunization.
Out of the 23 cases recorded in 2025, Sokoto has 13 cases. And so the committee has reported that, and we've discussed with the governor of Sokoto State with a view to how to strategize and see that they give effective coverage. The committee recommended to NEC that deputy governors, and as usual, that is the deputy governors as the chair state committees should chair state task force meetings in at least 2 weeks before the next rounds of immunization campaign, particularly in the key prone states like Kano, Kebbi, and Sokoto states. The honorable commissioners of health in the states and executive secretaries of the primary healthcare development agency should conduct post-campaign reviews so that they will address gaps and develop mop-up plans against the future activities to be undertaken.
Following the expiration of the Nigerian Medium-Term Plan 2021 to 2025 in December, the Council has approved the implementation of the Renewed Hope Medium-Term Plan 2026 to 2030, calling on all stakeholders to support the development of the second phase for economic growth and prosperity.
This will ensure policy continuity, consolidate ongoing reforms, and respond to emerging socio-economic challenges. It will also help in providing a coherent framework to accelerate job creation, improve human capital, expand sustainable infrastructure, enhance food security, and strengthen social protection. The Renewed Hope Plan 2026 to 2030 will serve as a bridge between current reform momentum and the long-term aspirations of Nigeria's Agenda 2050.
The Council has also received updates on the Federation accounts from the Accountant General of the Federation.
The third account that was presented was the Natural Resources account, which stood at 106 billion 727 million 969,527 naira 59 kobo.
From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Minister of Regional Development Abubakar Momo has inaugurated the governing boards of 3 regional commissions, the North Central, South South, and Southwest Development Commissions. At the inauguration ceremony in Abuja, Ekene Ndulue reports that the minister declared a new era of inclusion, equity, and transformation, promising that no region will be left behind.
For decades, uneven development across regions has been one of Nigeria's deepest wounds. But the federal government is now making what it calls a decisive move to change that narrative. In a highly anticipated ceremony, the Minister of Regional Development inaugurated the governing boards of 3 new commissions for the North Central, South South and Southwest, charging them on prudent use of resources to develop their regions.
It is now your duty to ensure that the Commission operates efficiently and delivers tangible results to the people. We will achieve this by ensuring that all projects and initiatives are needs-driven.
Today marks another significant step in our shared effort to promote inclusive growth, regional development, and national unity.
The commissions are tasked with tackling some of the nation's deepest regional challenges, from rebuilding conflict-torn communities in the North Central to reversing decades of environmental damage in the Niger Delta and igniting a tech-driven economic revival in the Southwest. These commissions now carry the weight of regional expectations. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
To security now, Nigeria is closing the loop in its cyberspace with the inauguration of a forum by the National Cyber Security Center under the Office of the National Security Advisor, charged with equipping industry players with protecting Nigeria's critical national information infrastructure. Defense correspondent Najatu Tijani reports.
Nigeria's cyber threat landscape, a report presented in 2022, shows trends in the country's cyberspace. Phishing attacks on SMEs increased by 87%, while 71% of Nigerian firms were hit with ransomware in 2021. All this is now changing with the official inauguration of a forum charged with protecting Nigeria's critical national information infrastructure under the Office of the National Security Advisor.
This journey of protecting our critical national information infrastructure has been long. It has been deliberate and strategic. From the Cybercrime Act of 2015 to the National Cybersecurity Policies 2015-2021, and of course to the recent executive order that brought us all here today that was approved by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. This progress is a testament to the visionary leadership of the President, the unwavering dedication of the NSA, and our collective commitment to building a secure and resilient cyberspace.
Key frameworks and tools these stakeholders from across various sectors will be equipped with for the task ahead include information sharing protocols and the National Cyber Risk Assessment Framework, among others. The forum also provides an avenue for working with reports like Nigeria's cyber threat landscape, which will offer valuable insight into countering cyber attacks and protecting Nigeria's critical information, online or offline. Najatu Tijani, NTA News.
Now, under the shadow of Zuma Rock, sometimes called Nigeria's Rock of Strength, the Ministry of Interior paused for a midterm reflection and to refuel with the presidency's policy chief, Hadiza Bala Usman, on hand to keep score. Details with Victor Azu.
For a ministry often seen as front-facing because of its daily impact on Nigerians, from passports to correctional service, fire to civil defense, this retreat is less about speeches and more about stock-taking. Hadiza Bala Usman, the president's advisor on policy coordination, sets the pace. She reminds the ministry that interior matters touch Nigerians at their most critical points of life: identity, safety, and mobility.
The strategic initiatives of the ministry are focused on enhancing citizen services, such as the harmonization of citizen data into a single national database, the enrollment of all Nigerians and legal residents, and the issuance of a general multi-purpose card to streamline identity management.
And then comes the Interior Minister, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo. A digital revolution, he says, is rewriting the story of service delivery.
My responsibility is not just to make passports available, it's to make sure that anybody that carries it is a Nigerian. Since we introduced the centralized visa approval process in our headquarters, People get visas in less than 48 hours.
For a ministry balancing migration, citizenship, correctional reforms, fire, and national security, the stakes couldn't be higher. Retreating to Zuma Rock, it hopes to emerge with renewed strength. And if the Daystone is a pointer, the next half of the journey may deliver even stronger strides in security and service delivery. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Immigration Service has announced an upward review of fees for Nigerian standard passports effective 1st September 2025. In a statement by the Service Public Relations Officer, Akinsola Akinlabi, the review applies only to applications made in Nigeria. The new rates are 100,000 naira for the 32-page passport with 5-year validity and 200,000 naira for the 64-page passport with 10-year validity. The statement adds that applications by Nigerians in the diaspora remain unchanged at $150 for the 32-page passport and $230 for the 64-page passport. In a landmark effort to bridge the skills gap in Nigeria's construction industry, 150 young Nigerians aged 11 to 18 have emerged as certified architectural technicians following intensive training at the maiden edition of the National Skills Acquisition Camp, Kuje 2025.
This milestone follows their successful completion of a specialized training program at the maiden edition of a skilled acquisition camp organized by the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria, ARCON, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. The camp, themed Building Tomorrow's Professionals Today, provided hands-on training in masonry, plumbing, tiling, painting, and interior decoration. Participants showcased their newly acquired skills under the guidance of lead resource person, architect Professor Eripetan Ola Adisa.
If there is integrity, there won't be shoddy workmanship, there won't be building collapse and all of those kind of things.
Graced by the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who was represented, congratulated the graduates and commended ARCON for the initiative, noting that it will significantly enhance professionalism in the field of architectural technicians.
Who is a painter? Who is a painter? Who is a plumber? Who is a tiler? Who is an interior designer? In fact, who is an architectural engineer or global ambassador representation for the federal?
ARCON President Dipo Ajayi, in his opening address, emphasized that the camp was established to address critical gaps in the construction labor market, stressing that skills acquisition remains key to national development.
That is why we are thinking out of the box to make this place a center of knowledge, giver of all skills in the country. And I hope the government and eminent people in this country will join force with us to bring this revolution.
Registrar of ARCON, Mohammed Itopa Sule, announced that the next phase for the graduates will involve a 6-month follow-up training program focused on specialization within various technical areas.
We are planning to have a data bank that people will have access to pick any of them that could be used.
Chairman of ARCON's practice committee, architect Aliyu Muhammad Saifuddin, also spoke on the importance of regulating architectural practice to maintain standards and ensure safety.
Creating awareness, on buildings, and that you must get people who are skilled, you understand, to do your jobs. We have to stop this importation of skills that we can do in our own country.
The event featured the presentation of certificates to the graduates, awards to distinguished personalities, and a symbolic gift of vegetables and fertilizers from the First Lady to the participants, underscoring the importance of sustainability and self-reliance.
This ugu you are planting is not to go home, live to die. I don't want mommy to plant it for you or daddy to plant it for you. Be responsible. Plant it when you get home.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More reports shortly. Stay with us.
Feel the power of precision. Engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
In total submission to the will of God, we announce the passing unto glory of late Mrs. Juliana Amina Yusuf, Ni Ihiabe Otumi, aged 78 years. Burial arrangements begins Thursday, 28 August 2025. Wake keep. Body leaves Grimad Hospital, Mortuary Ahingba to Abiokolo, Omala Local Government, Kogi State. Requiem Mass during the wake keep. Friday, 29 August 2025. Funeral Mass at Our Lady Queen of Peace Catholic Church, Abiokolo, Omala Local Government, Kogi State by 10 a.m. Interment at her residence opposite INEC office, Abiokolo Ife, Omala Local Government, Kogi State. May her soul rest in peace. Amen.
Precious Lord, lead me home.
Welcome back. The National Council for Women's Societies has officially received food and non-food donation from one of its partners, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for onward distribution to victims of disasters and vulnerable households in 5 states of the country. Ngozi Teknikio reports.
The intended beneficiaries, according to donors, include victims of natural disaster in 5 states of the Federation, which includes Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Enugu, Plateau, and Sokoto states.
Moved by those affected due to flooding, insurgency, among other disasters, items such as rice, beans, noodles, including toiletries, were donated to the National Council for Women's Societies as an expression of godly love to cushion the effect of hardship on disadvantaged ones in those affected states. Elated by the show of generosity, the national president of NCWS commended the church, tracing the originator of the initiative to her predecessors.
We believe that service to God can only be achieved through service to mankind. We are very grateful that we can partner with NCWS in this endeavor.
About 18 states I presented that needed assistance. And they began with the 5 that are most in need.
The government cannot do it all. We must complement government's effort. Government is doing its best to reach out to everybody.
Others applauded the synergies, stating that the world will be a happy place when individuals and organizations emulate this kind gesture.
They brought into practical expression the practice of love. What is love? It's not a feeling, it's an action.
If you have many other organizations that can follow suit in the footsteps of these donors, I think the less privileged will be more happier and will have a very happy society.
Other states are hopeful of benefiting from similar gesture in the future. Ngozi Teknikio, NTA News.
The federal government's 7-year freeze on creating new universities, polytechnics and colleges of education has stirred debate across the education sector. Ekemini Williams monitored the conversation on Good Morning Nigeria.
For government, the moratorium is about hitting the pause button to deal with overstretched resources, underutilized institutions, and declining academic standards. But for education experts, it is also a wake-up call. They say this is the moment to reflect, research, and reimagine how Nigeria's tertiary institutions can truly deliver quality learning.
It's just saying that government is aware of the registration or the mushroom of universities that are not necessarily viable. But will it work? Because it's been said that, okay, 7 years, then after 7 years, what's going to happen? What conditions led to this moratorium? What if those conditions are resolved even before the expiration of the 7 years?
The guest stressed that the bigger problems go beyond numbers to merit-based recruitment, proper funding, and the quality of education itself.
They do not, most Nigerian universities do not employ based on merit. You're either looking at the religious background of the person, the ethnic background of the person. You meet people who tell you, I'm a professor. You engage them, you know they are not qualified to even earn a first degree by the content of what comes out of them.
Anytime we want to come with a solution to a problem, particularly education, let's look back to history. And this history, not only our history, other societies. We always cite, for example, Malaysia. Okay? How did Malaysia pass us? Singapore. Okay? So I don't want us to be a lamenting nation or as if we are not making progress. Nigeria is a beautiful place.
They also warned that without reliable infrastructure, from classrooms and laboratories to steady power and water, universities will continue to struggle. The call is for government support that prioritizes not just access, but excellence. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Too much salt is sneaking into Nigerian meals, and experts warn it is becoming a silent killer. Science technologist Dr. John Tehinse says 7 in 10 meals from restaurants already cross the World Health Organization's safe limit for salt, leading to higher cases of hypertension, heart disease, and stroke. He calls it urgent, almost like tackling an epidemic.
Our wives at home use bouillon cubes. Yeah, women use bouillon cubes without knowing that it contains a large amount of sodium. Food produced outside the home, okay, contain 70% of those foods served in the restaurants contain salt beyond the WHO benchmark. And also packaged foods, what we call processed foods, which you buy in supermarkets, also are major sources of excessive salt intake.
Now, the Presidential Initiative for Unlocking the Healthcare Value Chain has welcomed a research team from the University College London and Peking University as part of an ongoing study assessing the feasibility and potential impact of local manufacturing of diagnostic products in Nigeria. The study supports Wonfo Biotech, a leading Chinese diagnostics manufacturer, in evaluating plans to establish local production capacity in the country. The researchers, led by Professor Ibrahim Abubakar, noted that local manufacturing is strategic to addressing Africa's dependence on imported pharmaceuticals and diagnostics, a reliance that has contributed to fragile supply chains, high costs, and limited health system resilience.
We had with partners that Wonfo has brought to look at the Nigerian market to really review and meet with various stakeholders, including PVAC, but they've also met with other partners just to assess the market. And so we spent the last 1 hour really just going over some of the issues around local manufacturing in Nigeria, stressing all the different policy support and the excellent leadership and the political will that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Mohammed Ali Pati, have put in place to encourage investment in the healthcare products market.
I'm delighted to be here leading a team from Peking University and University College London, working in close partnership with one of the largest diagnostic manufacturers in the world. And we're exploring opportunities around diagnostic manufacturing in Africa, thinking through the whole process to be able to advise them about the viability of a project in Nigeria in particular, but across the West African region.
In the meantime, in a significant milestone for medical education in Kogi State, the Prince Abubakar Audu University, PAAU Ayingba, has received full approval from the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, MDCN, to commence its Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, MBBS program. The green light was granted following a successful two-day advisory visit by MDCN officials to the university, and this development comes shortly after the National Universities Commission, NUC, reapproved the MBBS program at PAAU, paving the way for the university to resume medical training after a period of suspension. With MDCN's clearance now secured, the university is authorized to admit its first cohort of 50 medical students for the 2025-2026 academic session beginning this October. And with that, we conclude the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.